So I found out that Rosalind Jones defamed me, defamed me big time. And I want to mention what is defamation because, of course, she defames me. But she claims that I defamed her and David Jones, and a bunch of other people. Yeah, so let me explain what defamation is. We'll go to um, Gemini, and we'll ask Gemini, what is defamation? Also, is truth a complete defense? Defamation is a legal term that refers to the act of harming someone's reputation by making false statements about them to a third party. It can occur in various forms, including libel, that refers to defamatory statements that are written or published, such as in a newspaper, magazine, book, website, or social media post. Slander, that refers to defamatory statements that are spoken, such as in speech, conversation, or broadcast. I assume that this is slander that we're talking about. In any case, it doesn't matter. Defamation is defamation. To establish defamation, the following elements generally need to be proven. One, a false statement. The statement must be false and damaging to the person's reputation. I am making very sure that everything that I say is true. There is another defense, which is opinion. So if I say in my opinion, and I say it without malice, so knowing if I know that this is false, it doesn't stand. But if I naively think that something is true and I say it, that's also a defense. But the truth is a complete defense. So a false statement that must be false, publications that have been communicated to a third party, which it has. Identification, the statement must clearly identify the person who is the subject of defamation. It does. Harm, the statement must have caused harm to the person's reputation. Absolutely. She caused me a lot of harm. Truth as a defense. In many jurisdictions, truth is a complete defense to defamation claim. That's true in the UK, in the US, and in Australia. In the US, it goes one step further, and if someone is a public figure, he can't even sue for defamation. In many jurisdictions, truth is a complete defense to a defamation claim. That means that if the statement made is proven to be true, the person who makes the statement cannot be held liable for defamation, even if the statement harmed the other person's reputation, which is what I do. However, it's important to note the following. Burden of truth. The burden of providing the truth of the statement often lies in the person who made it. Partial truth, in some cases, proving that part of the statement is true may not be enough to avoid liability if the overall impression conveyed by the statement is false and defamatory. And malice. In some cases, even if the statement is true, it may still be considered defamatory if it was made with malice, meaning that the primary intention of harming the other person. I think I made it very clear in all my videos that I don't hold malice to anybody. I bring the truth because I've seen people being harmed by those people, and because they are a public figure that has a much more influence than me. Of course, David and Rosalind have been around since 10 years now, they keep saying it. And Mark Horowitz wrote a book and is all over the internet. And with Dorian, he has like 700 videos. Also talked about quite a lot. They're all public figures. So what they say has a lot of influence about, to people. And so if I make a video about them, I don't do it because I hate each and every one of them and want to see them suffer, especially not David and Rosalind, who are 80 years old, right? I want them to get over their ego, have a conversation with me, and acknowledge things that I find that are incorrect. And when I find things that are incorrect, they come with they're incorrect. It's not open to debate if the research shows that it's wrong, right? It is open. Well, I don't want to say that. I will say it is open to debate, but I think that people need to be humble by the research a little bit. And so I can show everything. I have receipts and I usually show them. I don't always show them because of privacy. So I don't want to harm someone else's privacy just to show that I'm right. That would be selfish. So if someone is, but I do have obviously all documentation, and the documentation, by the way, is a video. It's not like a screenshot that you can manipulate. It's literally a recording of the screen. I show the date before I do it, the whole lot. Okay. I've learned it because I had an Airbnb, and it was a lot of times a guest would come and he would create, damage, or he would claim to Airbnb that I did something wrong, which is an untrue statement, and Airbnb will take his side if I don't have proof. So I have proof. I know how to, like, literally, I would use a remote, open the TV, show the date, and then start doing a video of the whole place. If there is like damage, then I show them. I learned the hard way that people are, unethical. Unfortunately, you need to protect yourself. So when I showed the posts, I did take screenshots, but I have a video of the post, so no one can just delete their comment and say I didn't say it. I've recorded it. It's all there. However, what I am going to do is I'm going to censor the names of people that are lay persons, like people that are not um, admins of other groups or like known in the community, sort of speak. I would not show their name. I would just call them by their private name, and I will delete their profile pic, and they have a chance to delete the comment themselves. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I don't do it because I think that it is sort of like on the line. I think that I have every right to show it because it's a closed group, but it's not secret, and it's a group with 12,000 people, so no one can claim that they have their privacy. It's not a group of 20 friends. It's 12,000 people. The defamation is big in this group. Okay, I have 124 subscribers, so yeah, not 12,000. People complain that my videos are very long, but I think it's better if I'll read it and read line by line. It's actually quite funny because you haven't seen my videos. You'll see in a second. Warning. Dear members, this is a warning and sadly something David and I had never had to give before, but our concern will always be to keep everyone safe who comes to us for information. There is somebody who has been helped with tapering by us a couple of years ago. I wouldn't call it. I agree that I got a lot of correspondence with David, which I will show here to prove myself. But I wasn't helped by them at the end of the day. I was frightened by them, mostly. In fact, they harmed me in a lot of ways, and I will show it too. He has an agenda that sets out to prove everyone else is wrong. Defamatory. That's absolutely not what I say. You should have said, Rosalind, in my opinion, he has an agenda that sets out to prove everybody else is wrong. I can understand if someone have this opinion of me with everything that's happening, and if he didn't see my videos in full, which is again why I censored the names of the people that responded, even very badly about me, without knowing me at all. But I'm doing what's fair. And only his taper plans are correct. I didn't say that only my taper plans are correct because I don't give taper plans. I have a tool that I've created that allow people to empower themselves and use it to taper. They'll need to go and get their unfortunately, yes, I know that the doctors are not always on the same side as us when it comes to, because they're just like you, Rosalind. They have their ego and they can't, get any criticism, right? Because that's what I do. I do criticism. I don't defame. You can think of me as a journalist who's exposing something. I'm not. Anyway, I don't think my taper plans are correct because I don't have them. I don't think I know from the Mark Horowitz book and from your own advice. I made it very clear, and I'll show it here again. that going linearly is wrong, and that's what you're offering with this bloody water taper. I also know people that did that and got very bad because of it. Recorded evidence, I have everything. I don't mention them because they have the right for privacy, and those are people that are in a lot of harm right now. They feel really, really bad. They don't deserve being brought into this. He charges for coaching. I actually do now, but I haven't done it yet. I have a lot of people that talk to me that I told them that I'm charging them, that I'm going to charge. By the way, by charging is 60 Australian dollars an hour, which is 30 to 40 US dollars. I don't think I need to. Well, I do actually. I want to, present why I'm taking money because I don't have it, because I'm not working. And this is the only, way I'm losing money every month. I'm getting my money from right now to survive somehow and through the taper from rents that I'm getting for my house, the other house that I have, and this house. I have mortgages on those houses. I barely make it every month. I am living from refinancing my house. I am not in a position where I can offer my services. I'm putting it like this because I really, well, it is a service, but I want to, but it's a service that comes from love. Because if I really was thinking about myself being, I would just go back to doing IT work, get $150 an hour, and pay off my houses. That's what I would have done. I just don't want to do it. I think I found the thing that I am passionate about, which is protecting people from going through what I've been through, and I think that's more important than money right now. But that's not an advice that anyone will give me. See what's happening? Like I'm taking a lot of responsibility, and I'm going through, very very dangerous path of people claiming about me that I did them wrong by doing, I have to really protect myself. And you guys need to too, and you don't do it. Anyway, but it's not recovered, defamatory, it's untrue, and still takes an antidepressant. That does not mean that I haven't recovered, Rosalind. I'm still, I'm great. I don't know how to prove it to you. Do you want to see me like running a marathon? I don't know how to describe it. Is my smiling, how can I prove it to you, Rosalind, that I'm okay? I mean, maybe because I'm still alive after what you just done, but like anyone who has been not recovered, say, yeah, I'm taking an antidepressant. A fourth, I think, of the people in some countries do, including the UK and the US. I need to come off it. I want to. I'm not going to do it right now, not with everything that's happening. I need to be, I need to protect myself. I need to protect others. That's what I do. I'm not going to unbalance myself just because you have to come off it. He has no qualifications for this. You're right. I don't. I only have my own peer experience. That's enough qualifications, plus everything that I'm learning and I'm going to learn, to at least hold people's hand and to offer my the information that I have and researched to them. So far he has defamed. By the way, you guys don't have a qualifications either. The only line of I'll show later, the only line of that you say as a disclaimer is that I'm not a doctor or a pharmacist. David says I'm just a teacher. So far he has defamed Mark Horowitz. I didn't. I made a review. In that review, I said that there's a lot of amazing things about his book and a lot of things that I think are completely wrong, and so I showed it to them. I sent that review to Mark Horowitz directly. I told Mark, please respond. He hasn't responded until now. I don't know how much it is, but it's a few weeks at least. It's more than a few weeks. I think 5 or 6 weeks. I don't know. Don't catch me in my word and sue me. But it was like a long time. He does not answer his emails. That's his way of dealing with things, I guess. David Taylor, the Benzo Information Coalition. Professor Heather Ashton, you can defame a dead person, unfortunately. I think in anything that I said that we should be all be very thankful for her. However, her tapering plan is outdated. To Yosef with Dorian, and of course David here. In fact, anybody who sets out to help others in the vendor community, actually no. I have a lot of people that I appreciate a lot. Thankfully, most admins, here's another defamatory message. Thankfully, most admins of Benzo groups are aware of him and his many aliases and remove them from the groups for safety, as we did some time ago. Okay, she threw me out. I'm going to do a whole video about the groups. She threw me out. Maybe it's bad that I don't do it. I'm only a human. It's hard for me to do those videos in any case. But and I needed time. But she threw me out in the middle of 2023. I'm going to bring the correspondence with David about that. Not her specifically. I think it was a mod, and I was not moved from. I was still in benzo recovery and existence. That's another story. We'll talk about it when we'll get to the comment from one of the admins there. And I was also in benzo warrior community. My taper plan tool was used as an official tapering tool. I was thanked by Barbara Connolly for making it, and she tagged basically anyone that wanted help. And I'm going to show it now on the screen so you'll all see. Yeah, my issue with Barbara is completely different. I'll make a video about that too. Unfortunately, he has now been going through our website with various aliases in order to receive a taper plan for David, which you can then use against him. Absolutely. If the taper plan, I'm auditing you, and I said that in the video, the last video, that's the one that got you guys scared, I guess. I'm auditing him. He's doing with Rosalind Group. I had one alias. I only had one. That was the profile of my deceased cat. I used it because it was a profile that has been around for a long time, and and I wanted to still get help. Unfortunately, her group has 12,000 people, and I was in withdrawal, and I was fighting for my life. And I don't apologize for using a fake name in Facebook to get information. A lot of people in your group don't use their real names, Rosalind, because they might be worried that people would know that they're in withdrawal. They might, it's a, and also you don't allow anonymous posts. Hopefully you'll see now what I mean by that. Anyway, unfortunately, he has now been going through our website to various sources. Yes, that's true. It is horrible. It's a horrible situation for who? And we would report this to the necessary authorities. Actually, you are a fraud. You're giving benzo. David is giving benzo advice, and you are giving medical advice in your group. Evidence. Please keep yourself safe. From you, Rosalind, I think they should keep themselves safe. That's my opinion. As we have provided over 1,000 taper plans now, and it made me recover. So this alone is proof that tapering is a personal experience, and there is no one right way that can dictate as a safe for everyone. Nonsense. Yes, it's not one or there's a lot of ways to do it, but there's the one way to do it, like one system to do it that is proven by research that is the right way to do it. If you have any further information on this, please send to our email address and we will investigate. The torches are out. The forks are out. Let's see the comments. So this lady called Michelle said, Rosalind, I'm in Australia. PM me with his info and I should report him here. Emma, which is a friend, was a friend, I knew him for ages and blocked him a few months back. I'm not going to comment about Emma because I did threaten her with legal action after she basically said that she's going to expose my address and where I live and who my parents are and everything. That's what she said. I've recorded this, Emma. It's as a video. She removed that comment. Apparently didn't remove this one. But yeah, very. This is what I mean by people are can be jerks. In my opinion, that's a jerky move. She was my benzo buddy throughout this, and I have consulted her, and she have consulted me, and I've seen her cry, and she's seen me cry, and this is absolutely horrendous. But that's why I always record everything because of this. Emma, lovely to see your name here. There what has to be. Michelle is sure as hell that she needs to hurt me. She There has to be a governing body over giving his kind of advice. I'm in the process of moving. Then shall watch all his videos. Go to there. Michelle, I think that I sent her a message on privately, and she hasn't replied. My messages with her, when someone messaged me privately, and if they are a private person and not someone of public importance, I will never obviously put that would be a petty move. I wouldn't put my correspondence with them out unless they give me permission. That rule does not hold for people of public interest, like leaders in the benzo community. Michelle, we have no other info except this name, and the fact is in Australia. My name is really Guy Rottenberg, Rosalind, but there could be aliases as well. He is very devious, defamatory. We have email addresses from this name, and he's invented aliases, but that's all. He has a number of long YouTube videos, but I don't think YouTube has a lot of safety regulation and anybody can post anything. Not true. If you could try to hurt me through YouTube. I'll just make another channel. I don't do it to or I'll publish it somewhere else. I'm not doing it to be rich from YouTube, like even Beating Benzos are like 8,000 subscribers or something. It's not, I don't know how many, but a few thousands. It's we are not that. This is not going to be my job unless I'm lucky and it is. Linda, do you have a link to one of his videos? Rosalind, no, sorry, I've avoided all these and refused to watch. She's making all those comments without even seeing what I said about her herself, or anybody else. Defamation, Rosalind. David has though, and others have reported to us. Just look up the name. He mostly uses Guy Rottenberg. Actually, in YouTube and in here now, I use Guy the Taperman. I know it's a silly name, but I wanted to be found, so I've changed it to that name. There's a lot of people called, not that many, but there's a lot of people called Guy Rottenberg. I need to be, unfortunately, give myself a name that I can make a website with, and that I don't really like it. I'd rather be just Guy Rottenberg, but that's the rules of I guess getting words out. Linda, thanks. I'm sorry you and David are being targeted. This is the first benzo guru of a John years ago, and it helped me so much. It helped me too, Linda. Actually, right at the beginning, I got a lot of information that in the guides. It was extremely confusing, but luckily I wasn't in withdrawal yet. It was after I stabilized mostly that I read all those guides. I joined, I think, when I was still pretty bad, but then I stabilized and I waited a month. We'll talk about it in a second because there is a comment here. So I'll call her D because her full name is actually quite unique. But I'll call her D, and I'll say just type his name. Where is it? Keeps jumping. Just type his name on YouTube, and then she published me. Thank you for giving me traffic. Melissa, he has a lot of videos. Oh my God, yeah, I do. I'm going to make many more. Linda, Rosalind, thanks. D, he has a lot to say. I do. I have a lot to say, and I'm going to keep saying it. Melissa, I saw. Michelle, definitely in Australia. The YouTube video showed links for supplements went straight to Amazon Australia. Yeah, shall try to find out more, then report them to who? I'm not doing anything wrong. Rosalind, Most structures like YouTube keep tracks of personal information like user IP. Except with forum tools, one can track these, but it's tricky and very country law dependent. That's true. Um, when you run a forum, yeah, there's a lot of information that doesn't really important. Ah, here we go. Juliet, it's not just us involved in this in his tirades, but all these others who give authentic help for those suffering from benzos. He was on the benzos for 1 month apparently and now knows everything. I was on the benzos for until August last year. So a year and a half. I was on it for a month before I tried to stop and couldn't. And then I stayed for another 2 months to stabilize at the same amount. And then, well, a little bit less. And then I started a very slow taper, and I had my story videos are not out yet. I'm too busy, defending my name. But there's basically I had 4 months that I basically stopped the taper completely because I couldn't continue. It was too much. And then I found CBD oil and the right CBD oil because I tried a few. Again, people just don't know my story, so they think I don't know, like I have any money, like money made scheme done with this, or I don't know. But basically, yeah, found the right one, and I started taking Stabilium again, and it worked this time. And then I tapered off in 4 months, in like from April till August last year, and I was really good. So that's my message. Um, okay, so like I said, he was the best for 1 month, and apparently he doesn't know everything. We have action fraud here in the UK. She keeps mentioning it as if she's not committing fraud. Who I've had to contact in the past, and they are very good and do investigate any concerns freely. Maybe I should contact them. However, I know who to contact. It's not them, but I might contact them as well. Thank Rosalind. I know now who to talk to. However, it's probably out of their jurisdiction, but you are in it. But hopefully, the others involved can do something. Mostly, it's just a matter of ignoring him, as he is verbally abusive in his exceptionally long videos. No, I'm not. And I was angry with David, I have to say, with the last video, because it's amazing that he keeps doing that. Everything that I'm going to show here too, but which anybody truly needing help would never pay any attention to. So much defamation without even watching the videos. However, it's defamation of character in some instances, and it's not. Never mind. She needs to prove it, Juliet, if you and the other ones defamed by him can pack up in a request, I don't know what she means, you probably can obtain some help then, if ever you have to, because it goes too far. I don't think like those people that haven't seen my videos. I'm really sorry for you. It's appalling how the internet has become a troll hate dump zone in social media the past few years. So the past few years, I have internet since 1996. There are trolls, of course. I'm going to sound boomer, but I've known the transition from no internet to all numerical. That weird 80s generation, which didn't grow up with only it and saw the early days and learned from there. And I'm really saddened by how these marvelous tools has evolved. Juliet, stop being naive. I was there. Yeah, maybe the first 2 years were just for nerds, but nerds can be quite vindictive as well. Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about. Oh, and you're right. Personally, being a science-based person, when I see a huge video with shiny trailer or vignette and a title like "All these marvelous supplements I'm taking," I just just may move along. Juliet, you are. I don't know what to say. I don't understand anything. This guy has a Georgian name and he's using a script, Georgian script. I had to translate it all the time. This is obviously going to be translation. So I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what other people are saying. I think that it's very bad. That I hope that no one is trying to help him in his native, with a translation thing, instead of just asking him to speak in English, because there's a lot that goes, Google Translate and Facebook Translate are absolutely not so good. In fact, I just had a laugh with one of the people who's actually here, but he's a friend. We talk a lot, and we discuss this, and he told me in Hebrew at the end of our conversation, what did he say? תודה לך. תודה לך and תודה לך are written the same way, but uh, there's punctuations, like there's little. Okay, so there's symbols called nikud in Hebrew that you add to the letters that basically give the vowel sound. A lot of like most of the time you don't have a vowel showing in the word. It's just like a little kind of punctuation thing, like a symbol that you put inside or outside and somewhere next to the letter. So it's shalom lach. So he said toda lecha. He wanted to say toda lecha, which means thank you, but instead he said toda lech, which means thank you, go away. It was so funny. I told him that and we laughed. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, let's see what he says. Again, it's a translation. I don't understand anything about medicine, but by sound, intuition, gestures, it felt like he's fake guy. No, I'm real. Hi. Those who have met at least once and have seen a specialist, master, guru, teacher of his case will understand. Those who haven't met and have seen won't look for it either. And even if he sees, he won't understand. Again, it's very difficult to understand this translation. Then my friend, I'm only going to put P because he is a friend, put it his group, my group. And then Rosalind said, yes, thanks. There is nothing we can do except give warnings. Sadly, this is exactly what happens, and he's not the first to be banned from the groups. I know I'm not. And then go on to set up their own groups. How dare we? And spread their controversial advice. Hopefully, most can see through all this and don't get dragged in. P said, I saw his spreadsheet paper. It was very complicated. Yeah, we talked. I talked to P myself. He wants my help with this. I can't give him because of this. Basically, I have to protect myself now. So I really want to give him, like, to set up the spreadsheet for him. That's something that I did offer before. Now, unfortunately, because of all of this, I have to be extremely careful what I do. And something that my mom also said to me as a doctor herself. And thank you. And and I'm careful. So I can't help people as much as I wanted to, unfortunately. I have to do it with a doctor. Guy was on Benzos for just a month. Again, this lie. That's all I needed to know when he approached me. I approached you to help you. I don't want to use expletives, but this lady, I approached her with my that account. I was stupid. I didn't understand that, I didn't think about it. But instead of just contacting them through this alias, because I am in the groups, and if I see someone who's going to be damaged or is really, really struggles, it breaks my heart. And then I'm like, I contact them because I can't stand on the line and just see what's, them falling into a hole. And and I tell them, look, especially when they say that we're going to cut by half and then half and half, like things like that, right? So I contact them and I say, look, this is the guidelines. You're not doing it according to the guidelines. Those guidelines were written with blood and sweat, basically, like, of the people that didn't do it right. Ashton, and after that, the nice guidelines, and now Mark Horowitz, that again, I don't want to get into it again, but yeah, his tapered plans are problematic. His research himself isn't. He doesn't follow his own research, in my opinion. Anyway, so she contacted me. I gave her a lot of advice, and I didn't have to. I did it out of my good heart, and that's how she repays me. He's trying really hard to be he's trying really hard to be relevant in the benzo community, and just don't understand. I just don't understand why. What do you mean I'm trying to be relevant? I am healed. No matter, don't believe what Rosalind said because she's not me. That's defamation. I am okay. I could just move on with my life, join maybe help. I am in all those groups too, like SSRI help group. When I come off the thing, I'm pretty sure that the stabilium that I'm taking would help me because it helped hundreds of people before me that took it. I'm pretty sure that my mom doesn't lie to me in what she does, and yeah, and I'll be okay. I don't really need the benzo group. I'm doing it because I want to help. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I gave you free advice. And here's something, and I'm not going to censor the name because this is defamatory, and they can go. Vanya says money. And then D said probably, but after just a month on benzo, he has nothing to offer to me. I can't take him seriously. You don't have to. Vanya said exactly. And then she replied, I don't know who is the person they replied to. He, is it a he or she? It's a she. I assume. If I got your pronouns wrong, please let me know. Mixed use vulnerable people. Yeah, I'm using vulnerable people. Defamatory, again, from the Georgian guy. What does that mean? Please answer me. I have no idea. He was on just 1 month, so P asks. And D lies. Yes, I've talked to him. He approached me with false profile. P. Well, anyone who uses a false profile is suspect straight away. His motive eludes me. We and P had a good conversation about it. Um, I assume that he's now on my side after I told him everything that happened. Uh, D, what do you know? Maybe it didn't exist. Can't you see gasoline burning? Okay. Meg, Ty for the warning. Thank you for the warning. I trust and need this group as I go through this journey slowly and safely. I'm now taking a month off tapering, which while on vacation. What an amazing break. It's all about self-love right now. Everything about it after that is not relevant. Yeah, there's a lot of like advice that people give, peer advice that they give. Thank you, Rosalind. Linda says, thank you, Rosalind. How does he sleep at night? I actually don't sleep that well in the last few nights with everything that happened here. Luckily, I have my CBD and CBN that I still take. It really, really helps. Thank you for asking. There are all kinds of evil in this world, defamatory. We appreciate yours and David's deep devotion, protection, and care of us. Do I look evil? Do I look like I came from hell? I mean, honestly, Terry, why do you believe them? Some people call this a cult. I didn't want to use this word before, but it doesn't. It surely feels like it. Like someone says something, and you just have to comment to say that they're correct. Where's your self regulation of like, I know that people are suffering and, they see Rosalind as some sort of savior maybe, but, and David, but honestly, terrible humans are everywhere. Thank you for the heads up and everything you do to keep us safe. Giselle, oh boy, yes, I've been in contact with him. Thank goodness I saw this. This is where this has become personal and sad. I can go to everyone who saw this video, like her comment that I have talked to, because I talked to Giselle and I was really, really happy to give her a hand and help her. She was in a lot of, stress from this whole thing. And now I don't know if I'll be able to help her. So Giselle, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. If it's up to you to decide who's right and who's wrong, and I'm sorry that you have to do it in your situation. It's not fair. Lisa, I'm so sorry you have to go through this when you've been such a wonderful help to so many people. We are behind you 100% again. Vesna, thank you for sharing this. I am thankful for your support, Rosalind and David, and dedication to help others. By listening to his rumblings, from 1 minute, you can tell he does not know what he's talking about. Shame on him. Yeah, Vesna, shame on me. Penny, how awful that he's using his energy for this kind of deception. Defamatory. I'm so sorry you're dealing with this at all, Penny. Paul, I'm Australian. I'll keep an eye out. Never come across him. So sorry this is happening. Thanks, Rosalind and David, for your hard work and commitment to help others. Paul, I have a group for Australians and New Zealanders. You're welcome to join. And yeah, and keep, make up your own mind, I guess, of who I am and what I do. Watch my movies, watch my videos. San, I have never been approached by this man nor seen any of his videos. But I would never trust anyway after all the mess I have been through with my taper. Rosalind, thank you, and David, for all the help I've received from this group. The moral support here is just beyond belief and something that is truly needed. Thank you again. Ruzje, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with these kind of issues instead of just focusing on providing information. Yeah, I'm sorry too, actually, for myself that I have to deal with this instead of making the next videos that maybe help people. What I so appreciate about this group is that there is focus on preventing any prescriptive advice and focused. Rosalind is giving so much prescriptive advice. I've already put it some example. I'll put some more. And a focus on the fact that everybody is different and needs to find their own personal approach to their healing. Well, like if that was the case, then what are we even doing here? Just what? Just hold each other hand? Of course, we're trying to find something that helps. And I did find something, and I shared it. I feel this is essential because everybody is different. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for the warning. I really count on this group, even though it's not current tapering due to illness I'm going through, but I learned a lot daily from you and David. Please stay encouraged for this wonderful work that you both are doing and what you give up in your daily lives. You have been a blessing to so many, and it breaks my heart to see people take advantage of the good that you were trying to accomplish in people's lives and saving them in much more people actually do. I understand if it was true, but it's not. Again, thank you for the warning. I would not have pursued it anyway, seeing your previous messages and knowing that this can happen. Another person that doesn't trust me anymore and maybe would dismiss my lived experience because something that Rosalind wrote. Are you guys aware that Rosalind cold turkeyed herself after 40 years, I don't know, 30 to 40 years of using benzos with a lot of other medical issues, and that's not the same as someone who is tapering, or even if he took it for 20 years but not cold turkey themselves. Do you understand? It's a completely separate medical problem. That if you are cold turkey, it's like, I don't want to use the analogies that are like with Dorian did, but it's like being in an accident to cold turkey, and to taper is more of like grinding on the flesh or something. I don't know, like in potential, like some people don't even have, and tapering is way safer. So anything that harmed her in terms of supplement is not applicable at all to you. Or maybe it does. Who knows? It's really hard to know. You don't know until you try. Um, so, so Lucy writes, he approached me too, and I recognized him from another Benzo group. He told me to join his group on Reddit, but I ignored him. I don't know. Can you mention where it was? I did. I posted very few times on Reddit. It's mostly my group. This was about a month ago. I don't remember doing that. My gut instinct kicked in to stay away from him. So creepy. Okay. Stina, I've seen a few of his videos. I'm pretty sure that this is not a real name and he doesn't have a profile, the name calling is highly unprofessional and crass. Okay. His reviews on the taper guidelines are basically his own views. No. I prefer to make my own judgment. It's funny because actually the guidelines are actually what David promoted for me. I prefer not just for me. It's in his that's the taper advice that they have in the guidelines. of the guides of the group. I prefer to make my own judgments after weighing all sides. Good. I do not like the public shaming at all. I understand. When I did all the public shaming, I did it knowing that some people won't like it and won't take my advice because of it, and I'm fine with it. I have to, like, in a perfect world, everyone would do the right thing, follow the guidelines, the right guidelines, the ones that are based on research, and or just say bluntly, like, I'm going to do something else. Some people do it, and they're okay, so it's all good. Um, he felt he was hard, and that's evident as a personal chip on his shoulder. Yeah, I have a personal chip on my shoulder, and not for the people that I actually, that I, and I mentioned, and I'm honest 100%. Nothing that they did to me personally, or didn't do, or anything, has made a difference. I'm not doing those videos to take revenge. I'm doing those videos to warn others not to fall into the holes that I fell into. Much of his criticism comes, that's what I do, criticism, that's fine. In the end, he advocates for slow, patient led, exponential tapering. Yes, much of his criticism comes down to semantics and nitpicking. No, it's not. Watch my videos. I don't believe in unnecessary supplements, but I do think some of the BAC guides of concern are excessive for many who are not CT. That's exactly what I say. Thank you. That's exactly what I say in the video. I certainly wouldn't hire him as a coach. You don't have to. That's fine. Melissa, thank you for telling us all this. We're in this together. You're not in this together with her. You have no idea. She's, Rosalind, everyone has their own story. And as you can see, some of them will come and stab you while you're down when you are, after that. So I don't even know if you or David personally, but looking out for us at a vulnerable time. You're an angel. Thank you, Rosalind. Okay. Sorry that happened to you guys. Juliet says again, you're actually the most flexible group I've seen so far on these things. Really? At telling people that all the supplements in the world are dangerous or can harm people. All of them. All of them. Everything that you that someone took and made into a pill is dangerous. You're the most flexible group I've seen so far. These things. No, they're not. They have a rule that says that you can't be, that anything that you say that is not nice, they'll kick you out. David just made a warning about that, basically. And that one of the things that they say is that you can contact people privately without asking in the group, as if they are the owners of Facebook, and they actually have this grander complex where they think that people in this group are not in other groups, and they just chose exclusively Beating Benzos, and they asked the questions exclusively in Beating Benzos and not in all the, like, what, 30, 40 other groups that exist. Anyway, acknowledging that it's different experience for everyone, give it a safe place, adopt it to each person context. No, they don't, my opinion. Not everyone can get an Ashton-like taper that will last, I don't know, 52 weeks by doctors in this day. I completely agree. But you don't want to do the Ashton manual, research that is, very, very old. You want to go by the new guidelines that not every, and in this age, by the way, the Ashton manual is too fast, which they acknowledge too. So I wouldn't do the Ashton manual, even if I was like, thank God I know better, because that's what I was going to do. And you take that in account. Thank you. It's been 1.5 months I've stopped based on your plan. I had to speed it up a bit because of medical incompatibilities, and also I didn't experience too bad symptoms. So I tried and kept going with these shorter stages. The model helped me do it without having the impending doom feeling in my head. Thanks again. It's really good, Juliet, that you were good. I'm actually really happy for you. Completely honest. Nela, who did you taper? Who did you taper, please? I don't know what. It was obtained from David and Rosalind Jones. Proof that, again, that they do the wrong thing legally. I adapted it myself to a faster pace, but based on the same cuts because I had a toxicity case, unfortunately. Did you want to taper or cut the pills? Dry cutting. That's why it worked for you. Because the dry cutting that he gives follow the right guidelines. It's the water taper. But I did show in the last video that he gave one of my aliases, my evil aliases, a cut and hold linear taper against his own recommendations. So it's going to show here. Remember, this is warning post for danger, and thank you for your post to others. It's not compare symptom post. Okay. Kathy is a great lady. She has a lot of groups, and they're all about positive, and it's, she usually just puts like funny memes and stuff, like sweet memes and stuff like that. And then all of those things. And yeah, she has a good heart, and that's good. Thank you for sharing. I really do not understand people when this happens. We are all in this together and should be helping one another, not trying to make a buck of people suffering. 100% with you. P. That is true, but to be consistent, what about the Aussie American whom I've been told charged $64,000? Joseph with Dorian, watch my video. By the way, I don't have a problem with how much he takes. I have a problem with everything else. Not everything else, but the way that he presents himself in his channel. I don't defame him. I just give my honest opinion about the fact that his website and the video is like the marketing that he's doing is not, in my opinion, ethical. I'm using my opinion and I mean it. It's in my opinion. Maybe someone else sees it differently. Forever grateful for you and David. T. Mila, this is terrible to hear, Rosalind. I'm so sorry. Perry, so sorry you need to defend what you do, and thanks for warning. I owe David and you and this group, of course, my life. Literally the only way to taper. He has millions of ways to taper. What do you refer to? But I'm happy that you're better. Jacqueline, thank you for the information. This site has been invaluable. I can't imagine when I would have learned as much as I did if not reading the information that's available here. Someone else that I'll make his name because it's like a unique name. How can one criticize someone when no docs, psychiatrists, and more treat us like shit? That's exactly what my point. They treat you like shit and they give you the wrong information. The people in the group that you come to vulnerably asking for help need to give you the right information too, not what they think is the right information, because that means that they're just like the doctors. They believe what they believe. In any case, it's not even relevant because it gives the right information to certain people. Rosalind and David, keep up the good work for the sake of all of us. When I leave the Caribbean, there is not one clinic, doc of psychiatrists to aid us 70 plus who are 40 years old. This is absolutely horrible. So bro, please retract your comment. I didn't comment. I'm really sorry for you, mate. Is there anything? No, it's not relevant. Terry Lynn. Oh my god, Terry Lynn. I'll make a whole video about this. Terry Lynn is an admin of a few groups. She threw me out after I did the video about. She defamed me. She's going to talk about it in a second, but she wrote something about me. I'm going to put it here, and yeah, we'll get to that. I'll just read what she said. Sadly, I'm on the other end of his attacks. There is another small group that allows this information. The other admin encourages behavior against us. He didn't encourage anything, Terry. Someone made a post, anonymous post, in a group that has nothing to do with me, called Accelerated Benzo. I don't remember the name. Let's find out. The other admin encouraged this behavior against us. No, he didn't. Someone wrote Benzo Recovery, accelerated Benzo Recovery, accelerated recovery. Someone made a post, and this is the post. I do hope people will get references before choosing someone off the internet. Be safe. I hope so too. I'm sorry, by the way, she's a coach. Terry Lynn, I'm sorry for this happened to for you. Also, we are suspicious that the admin of that group knows us as accelerator group is actually Guy. It's suspicious, at least it's a suspicious thing. Rosalind, you didn't make a statement that it is me. It's not me. I didn't even know about this group and definitely didn't manage to recruit 2,000 people, I think, almost 2,000 people into this group. Um, yeah, how many? Yeah, 1.9K. Nothing would surprise us in all this. Any group that does this should never be supported, as it's so harmful. Defamatory. The benzo world has become very dark these days, okay? P. Terry Lynn, I have always found you to be honest, compassionate, and knowledgeable. If you don't know something, you say so. You don't bullshit people. You have my respect. Terry is saying, thank you, is so kind of you. P, thank you. And now the only righteous man who was, I don't know if he was kicked out for his bravery or left himself when the hate became too much. I'll ask him maybe. Who is David anyways, or his qualifications? Good question. He has no qualifications. Seems like group is cult and praise David like God. The only person who said, this thing. I don't think people, you know, they just don't understand. I don't think that everyone is like, completely brainwashed by it. I think people assume that David is great because he's doing it for free for 10 years. He has he's doing the right thing as far as he's concerned. So yeah, it's not. David is good enough to send you a taper plan and assist you if you run into some problems. But we are all grown ups and can make our own decisions. I didn't follow David's plan, but this group has been an immense help in my journey. Nobody understands you better than a person who is also tapering. David is not tapering, and neither did Rosalind. Rosalind cold turkeyed herself, and David is her husband. All he does is not from lived experience. This Georgian guy said on point. Heather Buff. Jeffrey, I heard of David from another site when I started to taper my clone on my own and felt so sick. I emailed him and honestly, there was so way I couldn't gotten off mine after 18 years of prescribed use. If it weren't for him, I had doctors telling me I could just stop taking it. I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for David, and he asked for nothing in return. That's not an excuse. When you're doing something voluntarily, you still have liability because like if you basically have to um, be first of all be a doctor, unfortunately for us because of everything I said before, but also you have to remember that what you say, especially if you're a volunteer, actually people would completely trust because you're a volunteer and doing it privately. I feel the same way, and there would be no way I would even look elsewhere for a plan because the plan I have with David works so much better than my doctor's plan. Of course, like if a doctor gives you a plan that goes like really fast, then you'll be really bad. But if you do a plan that is slower, even though it's not the best plan, but it is a slower plan, you'll be better. But you could be even better if you do it properly. Yeah, my doctor said to me, one day you will say to yourself, I don't need this anymore and just stop taking it. How is that for complete ignorance? Rosalind answered, if you, I don't know what she shared. Let's see who they are. Let's read information from guys about who are you a doctor? This is something David or I have been sometimes. That's a resounding no. Then you break the law. We are not medically trained, although David is a physiologist and has good knowledge of the workings of the body and brain. A quick look at our background from those who don't know us. For 40 years, I suffered benzodiazepine drugs for insomnia and other psychotic drugs prescribed during the 70s. For all those following years, I had no idea what was wrong with me or why I suddenly suffered severe symptoms of anxiety. An early enforced hysterectomy led me to believe it was all due to the menopause. As the years went by and I was diagnosed with various illnesses, mental and physical, I eventually came to research benzos and the damage they can do to the human brain. It was severe tolerance that led me to find this out over 12 years ago. At the same time, David undertook his own research and talked to many medical professionals and professors of pharmacy. We are both educationalists and used to run our own private school in the UK. The light slowly dawned for both of us, and we became committed to preventing others losing their lives to benzo as I did. If you were really committed, then you would have, you know what I'm going to say. When able, I started my blog, and we found that was great demand for taking it further through private help and through this Facebook group. We wanted to give the right support and information voluntarily and completely free. We tried to keep above the negativity and fear that seemed to dominate benzo buddies and other Facebook groups when I sought help at first. So she defames benzo buddies. If she has proof, that's good, but and then she complains about me and other Facebook groups. Just imagine, like, no specific one. One great friend was a doctor herself, suffering severely from benzos and in shock that her profession was unaware of the severity of benzo damage. Over the years, the group has seen the comings and goings of members, questions that get repeated over and over, desperate attempts to find that something to alleviate the suffering, posts that shout out in fear, but in the end, all we can say for sure is that it will end in the time that it right for you. Oh God, please read the success stories and guides and add your own, and add your own when it happens for you. So no, we are not doctors, but we are retired. So unlike doctors, we have spent a lot of time researching those drugs, accumulated a library of books to help us, talking to UK helplines, and in the early years of withdrawal, receiving advice from Arthur Ashton. Um, and giving all the support and information that we have seen to be true over the last 10 years. If we were doctors, we would never have had the time to do this, nor would have believed just how much we have harmed our patients through lack of knowledge about benzos. The medical profession can do amazing things, but it also has the power to prescribe drugs that can alter the body and brain in profound ways. This group, however, is not for venting against Big Pharma, who put us here, but for genuine, sincere, and informed hope for healing. Holding on to anger can slow recovery. Thanks. Thank you for your new age advice. The group was set up to help lessen this struggle for recovery and provide this hopeful healing as well as tapering advice. It was formed out of a need to help others and reduce the fear because things do get better if you can keep moving forward with determination and true desire for healing. Please don't let it become just another benzo forum for spreading symptom stress and very little hope. Join the symptoms group if you wish to discuss this aspect. I'm sorry that I'm keep pulling my nose. I'm a bit. I have a little bit of a. I don't know if it's a cold. I always have that, unfortunately, during this weird weather. We want to continue for the foreseeable future, but aware we don't support members pulling down each other with fear, arguing what is right or wrong, and giving medical or prescriptive advice about anything. Nor do we support other groups that encourage fear mongering rather than furthering knowledge and evidence for successful recovery. Basically, you censor everybody. David has now, well, everybody that dare to argue about anything. A little bit reminds me a little bit of China, unfortunately. David has now done hundreds of safe tapers plans for members here. Thousands have recovered, and you will as well if given the right support in the right environment. With love, Rosalind and Evan. I know why they wrote this, but again, it's like it's a bit of like, yeah, it's not the right thing to say, in my opinion. Uh, Thousands have recovered, and you will as well. You could as well would be a better mention of the, like, using a good word, a better word. P.S. Please rest assured, although we may not be very active on the group now due to life commitments, we can be contacted on Beating Benzos at outlook.com for taper support and anything you don't want to discuss openly on Beating Benzos. I am not available on Messenger. as stated in the guidelines, as demands are too great, which everyone appreciates. So they basically don't want people to contact. That's the one thing that I really didn't like at the beginning. You have to. David is in all the groups, and he answers. He writes when he wants to, but you can't message him, and you can't contact him, and that's not how it's done, in my opinion. Anyway, that's what she wrote. If you sincerely need help, then please read Tapering Guide 12 as well. And then she commented, "It's interesting you should come up with this on a serious post here." And then Robin says, "Rosalind, exactly. That wasn't a nice comment. I feel kicked in the stomach. Without you, Rosalind and David, I have no idea where I'll be now. Thank you both for all your help. Honestly, that comment feels off to get people not to trust David. What a weird place to put that when it has nothing to do with David being a bad person. You guys are good through and through. Many of us thank you for your help and kindness throughout the healing." People don't check their spelling. The healing journey. We love you guys. Uh, Jeffrey. David Jones and Rosalind Jones are very smart. They're here. That's her who posted this. She owns and runs the group with her husband. I don't think you read what she writes correctly, as David has helped heal many people during it the proper way. Read Rosalind's post again. David is the good guy in this all. The owner of this group takes his free time to answer hard questions, does research always, and makes personalized taper plans for those in need against the law. You get her post wrong. David has helped save all of us here. He not the bad guy. Okay. Jeffrey, they are saving lives. Most people can say the same. Again, Jeffrey, I hate cults. He couldn't even become Nietzsche, and Stalin is my cult. I'm looking for it and I can't find it. Do you know anyone? Oh God. Jeffrey, who are you here? I ain't no one praising no one like God. David is helping thousands of people overcome the benzo crisis and never ask for payments or anything. He's an angel, not a god. Get another message from the Georgian guy. Do you know if David walked this road himself? No, he didn't. And then someone else said, Catherine, he did not, but he was the one who helped save his own wife's life that was cold turkey, no Valium, after decades of use. He's also a mathematician. I don't know where he says that. By trade, he's not. He's a teacher. So he has the experience to help people. What does math have to do with it? Everything. I don't understand a little bit. Physics or chemist is also good at math. It's good to know a little more. How does she even understand what he's asking? He uses math to formulate the taper plans. It's not easy for all types of taper plans. He gives these for free to help people whose doctors will not help them get off this stuff. And why does Jeffrey refer to the band as if it's a cult band? Don't you know? David and Rosalind have walked this path themselves. No, they haven't. Again, the cold turkey path, not the tapering path. David really good team making right graphs for personalized for people. He quite good. He quite good in math. Explained that way may help. Gonna love some David and Rosalind. So, in conclusion, I did not defame anybody. I'm not planning to defame. I'm running all my scripts through, through a few AIs, including legal ones, that to make sure that I'm not doing anything. I've went through a lot of information about defamation to make sure that I don't do it. I'm not here to shoot myself in the leg. Everything you just read was, had a lot of defamatory statements in it. Probably, I don't premise anything, but probably not going to sue people for, and spend $100,000 that I don't have, in a different country. It's actually a few hundreds of thousands if I do it in a different country. I checked. So, and I don't think that they would too. So the only argument really is, who do you believe and what do you want to do? It's very sad that people that came with a good intention create this drama. You know, and yeah, and I'm going to continue my story, and I'm going to keep outing people that did the wrong thing. I'm also going to praise people that did the good thing, because it's public interest for you, see people that are naive and didn't really live this community themselves yet, to know what's happening. All right, thank you so much for watching this. I hope my next videos will be way more helpful and positive. See you later.